You think you're living in your world, but you're not. Because every scroll you make, every emotion you react to, every tiny escape you run toward, Meta is quietly rewriting that world behind your back. This isn't just social media or entertainment anymore. It's a slow reconstruction of the reality you trust, one invisible decision at a time. And the truth is, Meta may already own more of your world than you do. Meta didn't start by trying to own your world. It began by owning your attention. One tap, one notification, one harmless moment at a time. And that's where the real danger hides. Because when a company learns what you fear, what you desire, and what you escape from, it can shape the reality you return to. You've probably felt it, scrolling for clarity and ending up deeper in confusion. That's not an accident, it's design. Meta realized something terrifyingly simple. Whoever controls your attention controls your choices. And whoever controls your choices controls your world. But here's the twist you're not supposed to notice. We didn't walk into this system blindly. We walked in because it felt comforting. It felt like connection. It felt like control. That's the psychological trap. A world that feels like yours, while slowly becoming theirs. And once Meta learned how to shape your world, it began building an entirely new one. Meta's story didn't begin with the Metaverse. It began with something far more powerful, a map of human behavior more detailed than anything ever created. At first, it looked harmless. A like button, a friend request, a memory from 5 years ago. Little features that made you feel connected and safe. But each tiny interaction revealed a deeper truth about how your mind works. Meta learned what keeps you watching, what pulls you back, what breaks your focus, what steals your confidence, and what restores it just enough to keep you in the loop. You weren't using the platform. The platform was using you to understand human nature itself. This is where the awe comes in. Meta built a behavioral engine so precise, it could predict what billions of people might do before they do it. It didn't need to control reality. It just needed to understand how you respond to it. And here's where the recognition hits. Every time you opened the app, you felt like you were escaping life's noise. But Meta was studying the exact noise you were running from. That's the first hidden system, a machine that learns from your fears, desires, and insecurities, then feeds them back to you in stronger doses. And once Meta learned what shapes your emotions, it could shape your decisions. But what Meta did next shifted its power from your phone to your entire reality. Once Meta mastered attention, it did something far more dangerous. It began experimenting with reality itself. Not the world you live in, but the one you feel. That's the difference most people miss. Reality isn't just what you see. It's what you believe. It's what you fear. It's what you hope for when life gets overwhelming. Meta realized that if it could control those emotions, it could build a world that feels more important than your own. Think about the moments when life feels heavy, when you're stressed, lonely, or drained. That's when Meta's systems hit the hardest. Because escape feels easier than understanding. Comfort feels easier than growth. And illusion feels safer than truth. Meta took that human vulnerability and engineered an empire around it. But here's the part that creates envy. Meta is not running from reality like you are. It's redesigning it. While you try to manage your day, Meta is constructing worlds with perfect light, perfect people, perfect reactions, perfect stimulation. Environments designed to make you forget the imperfections of your actual life. That's the psychological chokehold. When the artificial world feels better than the real one, control becomes effortless. And the most unsettling part, Meta doesn't need you to believe their reality. It just needs you to prefer it, because preference is power. And once you prefer a world Meta built, you belong to it more than to your own. And that's when Meta crossed the line from capturing your attention to capturing your identity. Meta's power didn't truly begin with data or algorithms. It began the moment it realized something far more profitable than controlling your attention, controlling your identity. Because identity is the deepest point of human vulnerability. It's who you think you are, what you believe, where you belong. And when a company gains influence over that, every other part of your life becomes accessible. This is the part of the story no one explains clearly. Meta didn't just want to know what you look at. It wanted to know why you look at it. What fear pulls you in? What desire keeps you hooked? What emotion keeps you awake at night? Once those patterns became predictable, Meta didn't stop there. It asked a bigger question. If we know who you are online, can we shape who you become? And that's where the real turning point begins. When Meta introduced the Metaverse, the pitch sounded ambitious. Build a world where you can be anything. Freedom, possibility, endless potential. But beneath that promise was a more chilling truth. A controlled environment where Meta could govern every interaction, every stimulus, every micro-emotion you experience. In the real world, companies fight for your attention. But in a world Meta designs, they own the air you breathe. They own the light you see. They own the rules of physics, time, and behavior. This wasn't a digital playground. It was a psychological laboratory, bigger than any in human history. Every gesture, every reaction, every emotional spike became a data point, a blueprint of your inner world. That's when Meta's mission shifted. It wasn't building a platform. It was building a reality you could not compete with, because it was tailored to your brain more precisely than your real life ever was. And once a world feels safer, smoother, or more rewarding than your own, your mind begins to prefer it. And preference is the first stage of surrender. But what Meta did next didn't just blur reality. It rewired how billions interpret the world itself. So what can you learn from Meta's rise? And how does this help you in your own world, outside the screen? First, understand this. Meta succeeded not because it had the best technology, but because it understood the human mind better than anyone else. People don't follow information. They follow emotion. They follow comfort. They follow escape. Meta built an empire by meeting those needs faster than the real world could. Here's the lesson. If you don't control your attention, someone else will control your life. Your habits, your focus, your emotional cycles, these are the real currencies of the modern world. Guard them like assets. Second, remember that illusion is powerful, but temporary. No artificial world can replace the depth of a real experience, a real relationship, a real challenge, or a real victory. Those are the things Meta can't engineer. And third, the same psychology Meta used to shape behavior, you can use to reshape your own life. You can design your environment. You can design your routines. You can create systems that pull you forward instead of distracting you. Because the moment you take ownership of your world, the digital ones lose their power over you. And the impact Meta now has on the real world is far greater than anything happening inside the metaverse. Meta's influence isn't limited to the worlds it creates. Its power now defines the world you live in every day. From political tension, to social behavior, to personal identity, Meta has become a mirror that reflects society while quietly shaping it. Billions wake up, check a feed, feel a reaction, follow a suggestion, and assume it was their choice. But choice becomes fragile when the system predicting it is faster than you are. Here's what matters for your future. The metaverse isn't the endgame. It's the testing ground. The real world and the digital world are merging. And the people who understand how attention, psychology, and reality are engineered will control their own path instead of being pulled into someone else's. This shift isn't about escaping the world. It's about learning how it's built. And if you understand that, you're already ahead of billions who never will. If you've watched this far, you already sense the truth. The systems shaping your world are bigger, quieter, and more powerful than they appear. And Meta is only one of them. RINH Wealth exists to decode these hidden empires, so you can recognize the patterns billion-dollar companies hope you never notice. Because the more clearly you see how power works, the more control you gain over your own future. Subscribe, because every episode reveals the next rule shaping your world. And the next empire you'll face is even bigger. You're only at the beginning of what they're hiding.